Terrible Football Show, all right?
I want whatever you guys are smoking right now.
Come on, Shane. OH.
Damn.
OH.
Oh, baby, yeah! Shane, I swear to God.
Welcome to a Terrible Football Show.
That's my quarterback and my teammate, man.
Ruins my fucking holiday every damn year.
Alex,
What up?
you could thoroughly kiss my ass.
Why not let us decide the top four?
Yeah, let a Terrible Football Show
Let a terrible
decide the top
football
four.
show.
Fuck you, Shane.
Roll Tide. Have a good one, guys.
Oh,
Have a good
fuck
one.
off. Oh, yeah, he's got to go. Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
You know, I like that Baker Mayfield and myself, man. He was baking up there in the Browns, and it just turned into a big old shit pile. So,
Get that right. I will fly you out and take you to a game in Dallas of your fucking choice.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he's successful at just giving his terrible opinions, so why can't I? It's a terrible football show after all. Welcome to a Terrible Football Show, episode 99. Back after a 1 week break, and next week, episode 100. 100, boys. Let's go. We got Ricky and Shane here. Boys, how we doing? How we feeling 1 week before episode 100? Just a few days after WrestleMania 40 and just after a nice week break. How we feeling?
Very sad. My tribal chief got beat.
I told you.
What?
I don't know why you're shocked.
Hey,
I wasn't shocked.
Yeah, I mean, I called it. I mean,
I wasn't shocked. I still disagree with it. I thought they should have let him beat Hogan's
No.
record.
No.
To me personally, it was important. I know you two young bucks didn't watch Hogan in his heyday, but
No one
I
gives a
did.
shit about Hogan.
I'm just saying they should have let him do it. Anyways, no, I am excited for episode 100. Golly, 100 episodes already. I think I can't remember what episode I came on.
30s maybe,
think
30s or 40s.
Might have been the 30s. I think it was the 30s. I don't think it.
Shane, I
it may
think
have
was
been
in the
40s,
20s, maybe 10s around there. Shane, do you know?
yeah, I got brought in the teens. We're like you were halfway. You were
Yeah.
either halfway through season one, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, what a journey. Speaking of what a journey, the man who helped me start the journey, Tyler Honeysucker, is down in chat right now. Tyler will be here for episode 100 as well to help celebrate, just like he was there for episode 50. So shout out to that. It's gonna be fun.
Hell yeah.
I'm looking forward to 100. I got a fun idea for you guys with a mock draft. We're not all doing separate mocks. Just all I ask is just come prepared in terms of players. We're all gonna be GMs, baby. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great time. I can't wait for it. We also have Kirito MVP 11 in chat saying I missed you guys, and he all said Roll Tide. Disagree with the Roll Tide part, but thanks, man. We missed you too. We appreciate that. But no, episode 99. We're going to be introducing a new segment today because this is a big segment show. Big segment show. Introduce new segments all the time that either stick or miss. This is one that might stick, and it might stick all season long. And that is from the title and on my little sidebar here of the good, the bad, and the trash. Because, it's a terrible football show and we have trash cans. So makes sense,
Yeah.
right? It's going to be a great time. But it'd also be a great time if you join the Discord. You can come chat with us, and we'd appreciate that. Make sure to follow the podcast, follow the show wherever you're watching, whether you're watching it live or after the fact. Listen on the 74 platforms we're on. We appreciate that extra support. All right, let's turn this down. We'll also make sure to give shout outs to our sponsors, Rogue Energy and Agenting throughout the show. Not at the very end. Not at the very end. We will shout them out as we go. I promise. It's going to happen. I'm going to cut conversations clean off and be like, sponsor time, baby. Let's get into it. But no, yeah, so good, bad, trash, new segment today. It's going to be fun. So the good, bad, trash is something that I think that we could utilize all season long, right? All year long, different, whether it be, kind of like what we used to do with our dicks of the week, where it's like a week by week basis, or a game basis or a certain topic basis or whatever. Today's case of good, bad, trash is going into the wonderful NFL draft. This is a time where you are 2 weeks out And there are many teams that are very excited and are sitting in a very beautiful spot, ready to come into the draft, tackle the draft, and come out looking better than ever. And then there's teams that just, they're existing. And that's the extent of the good, bad, trash for this week. Is we're going to go through all 32 teams, and we are going to categorize them in the good, the bad, and the trash category of how these teams, how we think these teams set going into the draft. That's going to be today's segment. It's going to be a great time. Maybe a chance for Ricky to let off a little steam on his Cowboys. You know, maybe Shane let off a little steam on his Broncos. It'll be a time today. Or maybe even Tyler on his Buffalo Bills. But Tyler's excited for how his Bills are right now because Tyler's a psychopath.
Why? They've completely thrown C4
because he's a psychopath.
into that franchise and just blown that shit up.
Because he loves it when they're bad. I don't know. Oh, I do not know. But before we get into that, though, let's just, how we doing? This is a football show, but a terrible wrestling show is going to happen at some point. How we feeling about WrestleMania 40? Just kind of brief on that. How do we think about it? I kind of missed I missed part of the first night. I had some stuff going on, man, and even when I finally got sit down to watch the main event, dude, I missed the finale of the main event. I watched the entire main event until we're about to close it, right? We're about to hit the finale. Bless him. God damn it. My damn dog had a seizure right in front of me. So it's like main event. He's good. It was thankfully a very quick one. 8 minutes, one spasm, all good. But it's like, dude, now of all times, your timing is always impeccable. But I did go back and rewatch night one. Night one was incredible. Night two was incredible. In my opinion, best WrestleMania of all time. That's my opinion. That's my very strong opinion. Because even the weakest match of Jimmy and Jay, that in my opinion was very clearly the weakest match, and the second would probably be the Pride and the Final Testament, and even that match was pretty solid. With the Philly street fight and everything, those being the weakest matches, you got a damn good WrestleMania in my opinion.
I thought the six women tag team match. I thought that was also not a very good match with Damage Control.
Yeah.
Jade Cargill, which I understand they're trying to promote. Jade Cargill.
We knew that'd be a squash.
That was to me, between that and the street fight, those two were the worst matches. The one thing I hated more about the street fight than anything was they gave away who was going to win as soon as Bubba Dudley came out. As soon as he came out, I knew who was going to win the match.
Yeah.
I knew there was going to be some way he was going to get involved. It was I don't know if I'd go greatest WrestleMania of all time. I do like how they ended the story. I will give that much. They made it interesting. I will say that much. They did make it very interesting. They made so many predictable moves throughout this entire thing. I think the one thing that kind of surprised me was Sammy beating Gunther. If I were going to go a surprise, I thought they were going to wait on Gunther. I thought they were going to wait on someone a little stronger than Sami Zayn.
I agree to that.
Maybe like a Kevin Owens or a Randy Orton. Someone a little strong, but they've tried to build a singles career off of Sammy, and the crowd seems to get a pretty good reaction from it. And I will say this much, because I did watch Raw last night. Personally, I've been a Roman guy forever. I love the dude. I think he's terrific. The WWE Universe, they did give their props to Roman Reigns last night. And shout out to that, and shout out to see what's going to happen next with Cody Rhodes, and of course The Rock's not done. The Rock's not done, so we'll see how that comes. And I don't know if you guys heard or not, but John Cena is wanting to make one more run after Christmas.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, I would agree with Alex. I think this is the best WrestleMania that I've seen ever. If not, it's for sure top 3. It has to be top 3 at least, but I think in my opinion, it's probably the best ever. I will say, the only thing I kind of missed on, which is the one thing that's kind of faulting WrestleMania 40, is I pretty much got I predicted nearly every match except for the 12-man tag team. And that was only because I didn't know exactly who was going to win it. But I did, of course, all 3 of us did agree that we knew that they were all going to be separated, but I didn't know exactly who was going to win each of the titles.
You want to know something, Shane? I called the exact winners to a T days before. Like, I was kind of back and forth on it. I'm trying to pull it up right now. Let's see. I was kind of back and forth on it and everything. And then I text John. Let's see. It was April 2nd. I'll see if I can get it blown up here. I texted him April 2nd. And I said, after thinking about it, I think it's going to be Ms. Truth and Theory Waller. And he's like, why are you promoting Theory like this? I'm just like, Logan, Theory Waller, gold, annoying heel faction. That was my mindset. And then for Miz and Truth, you give them a WrestleMania moment because Truth has never won at WrestleMania. So that was my mindset days before.
I don't know if y'all saw this or not, but I think they called an audible during that match. I think Priest and Balor were going to take the title. I really do. And I saw the lady referee. I can't remember her name. She's really, really good though. She grabbed the bottom of Priest's pants and she said something to him. I think they called an audible during that.
Oh no, that was just for the ladder. That was just for the ladder.
The ladder was broken that he was getting on.
Yeah, the ladder broke. That's all it was.
It came out either the press conference or like an article after the press conference that she was telling Priest that the ladder that he was about to get on was broken.
Because when I was watching it, I was just like, "Oh man, that ladder's about to collapse!" And that's whenever she yelled at him, and that's when he swapped the ladder. Yeah, that ladder was it was doing the stanky leg. The thing was about to collapse any minute.
But yeah, I think the only thing that don't get me wrong, seeing Undertaker at WrestleMania will never be a bad thing.
Facts.
But I do think that was supposed to be Stone Cold Steve Austin's spot.
I think you're right.
I think it was supposed to be Stone Cold, but they, I guess, couldn't agree on a deal or whatever, or maybe Stone Cold was just busy.
He just didn't
want to be a part of it. But don't get me wrong, Undertaker, it still fits though, right? Because Undertaker's been beating up on that family for years. So,
Yeah, so catching up on a few things here in chat. So we do have a Cowboys-related question, so we'll get to that one here in a bit. We'll follow up on that one. Tyler personally says he dislikes having it 2 nights, but he understands why. I love it 2 nights personally. I love it being a whole weekend event. I love it being a whole week event. Raw before Mania, NXT,
it's so
SmackDown.
Good.
You have
so good.
I love it personally.
Well, the only reason they started doing it was because of COVID. And so, because it was easier for them to do 2 nights because during the COVID year.
I thought
when
it
they
was
started
because
doing
of,
it 2 nights.
I thought it was because of the last Mania that was a single night. Because wasn't that like an 8-hour Mania? Because that was the main event.
It was quite a bit.
Yeah, that was the main event of Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda, and it was like going on at like 1 a.m.
So from my understanding, if you remember in 2020 when COVID happened,
Yep.
they had to split WrestleMania up that year because they could only have so many people in the building at one time.
Okay.
WrestleMania 21 is when they started. I'm sorry, WrestleMania in 2021 is when they started really testing the 2 nights with the audience. But at the time, it was because again they still had to follow certain COVID protocols. And then in 22 they did 2 nights again with full audiences, and it's been a success ever since. And I think one thing you can for sure say is that it's a very high success of having it 2 nights, and I'm all for it. I'm all for a huge WrestleMania weekend. It was all good this weekend. Every single bit of it was good.
Yeah,
I agree. And also, like, what helps as well, another reason behind it all is because, I think these rosters between SmackDown and Raw and the storylines of you're seeing these NXT superstars kind of coming up. The rosters are deeper than ever. So, of course these people want to see these superstars. And, if you only have 6 or 7 matches in a WrestleMania, like, there's limited slots depending on stipulations, right?
True.
I think it's just WWE just being smart and being like, hey, maybe these kind of mid-tier to top tier, like getting to top tier superstars, maybe we can build a backstory other than our main stories to, help these superstars eventually become these main event people and have a second night. You saw a lot of like what Ricky was saying with the Bobby Lashley and that 6-man, like, I don't think that would have been like if it was only a one night, that match wouldn't have been in the main event.
Facts.
I mean, and not main event, but wouldn't have been in WrestleMania. And then there's a couple other matches that I was like, like I could see this match not being a WrestleMania match, but because it's 2 nights and you can build on additional stories all in 2 days, I mean, it works.
Yep. No,
And if,
I agree.
and if you and think about this, guys, the Usos have been big for a while,
True.
but they were in the main event of night 1 last year.
Yep.
They would not have done that at a regular WrestleMania. Like a regular WrestleMania,
No.
they would not have been in the main event picture at all. But like I said, I mean, I kind of agree with you on the match. The match was not near what I thought it was going to be on that one. But again, I think they're building a story off of it. As long as they're building a story off of it, I'm good with whatever.
Yeah. We also had Kirito asking about what our thoughts on the Undertaker return. Loved it. I mean, hey, when will we see the dead man strike again? I could see him, poking his head in a WrestleMania every once in a while when it calls for it. Just come in, do a quick thing, and disappear back into parts unknown.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Loved it.
I got off on my feet, and I saw the rocks. I saw the Rock give
Yep.
that stare, and I'm like, oh yeah.
I mean,
there goes the Undertaker.
I would have loved to have been in that crowd when that fucking dong hit.
Yep.
Oh, the pump from
It's
that was
beautiful, man.
amazing.
Hey, I've been to 2 WrestleManias, 2 dongs, man, and I'm telling you, man, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like the dong.
What
I've never
WrestleManias have
been-
you been to?
I went to WrestleMania in Dallas in 2016 when that was the year that the
That
Rock
was a-
came out and did a segment, and
Yeah, that was
Bray
a-
Wyatt and the
that
Wyatt
was a-
brothers came out.
That was a bad
That
one.
was No, that was a really good one.
No, that
was a
WrestleMania
really-
is garbage. That's the main
Oh,
event.
no, dude,
That's the
that-
main
oh,
event
no.
of Roman Triple H, Shane McMahon, Undertaker, Hell in the Cell. That WrestleMania is
It was-
crap.
Oh no, dude! It
Yeah.
was beautiful. When you see
No,
Shane
it's
McMahon
not-
jump
it's-
off a Hell in a Cell,
It's not
no,
their
man,
fault.
I highly
It's
disagree.
not. That was
that was
an injury plagued WrestleMania though. That's
I don't give a crap. It was beautiful.
It
It was
was-
beautiful.
that one's
I'm
not
telling
great.
y'all, listen to me. I'm serious when I say this. If you go to a WrestleMania, you will
it makes it probably
understand.
different. Yeah.
You will understand.
Yeah,
Trust me on that. It was a beautiful WrestleMania. The other one was New Orleans, 2018. That was that was the year Brock and Roman went at it again.
Naturally.
Brock, of course, won, and it was a horrible match because
Yeah,
people were
yeah.
throwing there was people throwing beach balls in the stand or in the crowd, and everything
right.
like that, and you could tell Brock was getting pissed.
Yeah.
I unfortunately have never been to a WrestleMania, but on my bucket list, the top 3 on my bucket list before I die, I want to go to a college football national championship, a Super Bowl, or I guess top 4, Super Bowl, an NBA Finals, and a WrestleMania.
Well, next year it's going to be in Minneapolis.
Yep.
In Minneapolis, in 2026 it's Vegas. I've been hearing rumors it might go to Houston in 2027. I need to look that up and see if they've even set that yet.
Yeah.
But
So
but yeah, I've only been to a couple of WWE
Nashville.
events.
It's in Nashville in 2027. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
It is in Nashville in 2027. So
Ooh.
I'm telling y'all right now, like I've talked with my wife a little bit. We might look at Vegas in 2 years. Nashville's probably gonna be a definite though.
Nice.
Yeah, that's definitely probably one I'd be looking at too, that or
Yep,
Vegas,
yep.
because I have a buddy that lives in Vegas, so I could just stay with him. Shit.
If they go back to Orlando again, I'll look at that one. I know they last did it in, I think it was WrestleMania 33, so we're around that range. But anyway, this is a football show, so we should probably get some football. WrestleMania 40 was fantastic. Hey, look, no, like
A preview of things to come.
look, it's a slow week. All right, I had it up there on our sidebar of how we doing. WrestleMania 40 is involving how we doing. Okay, like it was all planned. It's all part of the plan. It's all good. All right, so let's go around the league. What's kind of gone off last week? Look, Stephon Diggs, baby. Stephon Diggs traded to Houston for a bag of balls. Buffalo wanted to get rid of Stephon Diggs, man. I mean, they even gave picks away. Stephon Diggs, I think like a 5th and a 6th for them to get a second round pick, man. They were ready to get rid of Diggsy, man.
Yeah,
Houston.
for them not even to get 1 first round pick for Stephon Diggs is wild.
I can understand no first round just because it's wild, but like we gotta keep in mind, man. We've seen receivers go for like a 6th round pick, which is unbelievable. So like I can get it, but it's just like, man, I did not expect I didn't. I guess where I got caught up is I didn't expect Buffalo to personally be giving away picks. You know what I mean? I think Stephon for a second, I think is a good trade personally. You know, could you get it for a better trade? Yeah, I think other teams would have probably pitched. You know, I mean, like a worse trade, whatever. For like let's say the the Texans not giving up a second. Yeah, I think other teams around the league would have given up a third or whatever, and other players would have gone for that. But that's what kind of caught me up is the Buffalo personally gave up picks to get that second round pick. That's what caught me up. Or it's just like, man, I feel like Diggs enough would have been enough for that second rounder, especially since it was an early second rounder. Well, I don't know, it might have been. That second rounder they traded might have been a trade pick of Houston's, but I don't know. I just thought it was wild to me, man.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe it. I thought he was at least worth a first, especially if you're giving up picks as well. I just thought you should get a first back for that. If you're giving up Stephon fucking Diggs and picks, you should get a first. I'm sorry.
Second rounder is Minnesota's pick. So, okay, it'd be a high second rounder then. Okay, then I guess I can slightly understand it, but man, I don't know. It just kind of blew me away. Tyler also said Diggs just wanted to go to Texas to be close to his brother. That makes sense. I mean, the Houston part didn't necessarily surprise me. That part didn't surprise me for that regard. But maybe this was also just Buffalo trying to do right by him, really trying to make the deal done for Houston to get him down there, to get him close to his brother. So maybe they're doing right by him. I don't know. I kind of see it as get the hell out of here. We're done with you. Shout out to Steve. Steve popped in chat saying WrestleMania 40 was incredible. Also said Texans are loaded and Justin Jefferson is going to Buffalo. No shot. No shot. JJ don't want to go to Buffalo with how they're blowing shit up. He wants to go to Cincy though. He wants to go reunite with Joe Burr.
He does not want to catch any shrapnel from that.
Yeah, true. We also got Kirito saying Green Bay and Houston are both going to be really good. I don't know about Super Bowl level good, but they're close. I agree. I think both teams are unbelievably loaded. I mean, they played really well last year, and man, they've just continued to get better. You know what I mean? Especially Houston. I mean, God bless. You had Joe Mixon, you had Stephon Diggs. You already have a great rookie quarterback, another great rookie player in Will Anderson. I mean, you're getting loaded. You know what I mean? Texans are scary, man. I
mean, I saw this stat that Houston Texans are the only NFL team to ever add an 1,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard receiver, and a defensive player with 10+ sacks in one offseason.
Who was the defensive player they had? I don't remember.
Forgot his name.
They added someone, but I'm drawing a blank on who it was. God, who was it? Who did they add? It was.
But yeah, I think it was somebody from Minnesota. Maybe I could be wrong.
Danielle Hunter? No, that's not his name. I don't know. They added. You are right. They added someone. I thought. Okay, yeah, it was Danielle Hunter. Okay, thanks, Tyler. Yeah, so there you go. You nailed it, Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that's a good addition there too.
So I mean, to add a 1,000-yard rusher, a 1,000-yard receiver, and a player that had 10+ sacks in the previous season is absurd.
Yeah. I mean, dude, that team's looking scary right now. Tyler said we got Stephon Diggs for a first 4 or so years ago. Inflation is a motherfucker. Oh, man. That's funny. He said him and Bean has just been clashing like crazy because of that unfolded quick after the post about Josh. Yeah, that's true. Diggs has been very clearly unhappy for a little bit now. Buffalo's still going to finish with a better record than Houston. Whoa. Calm down, Bucko.
Who said that?
That's Tyler. Tyler said Buffalo's going to finish with a better record than Houston. Relax. Relax.
Oh, Lord.
I got another relax for you here. Steve saying Jets winning it all this year with the Vice President Rogers.
Jesus.
Relax, dude. VP Rogers, baby.
Oh Lord. He's not the candidate now, by the way.
No, he's not.
No,
that was a fun week though.
It's still funny. It's still
look,
funny.
Look, this is going to be Aaron Rodgers' slogan for VP: passing laws during the week, passing for touchdowns on Sundays.
There you go. Love it, man. Money Mill's going to take over for Stroud to lead him to a 4-13 record. Relax, man. Is he even on the roster, or did Davis finally get cut? I mean, he's a good backup, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the roster, but
he probably got cut because they got tired of fitting his ass with helmets.
Oh, I know, right? They had to get the custom helmet made for him. Josh Allen may be traded next. I mean, hey, he may demand a trade. He may demand a trade in a year or two if they don't actually put some more pieces around him. They got rid of all of his pieces. So yeah, he might be traded next. He might, but it'll be from a demand. It won't be from like, oh, Josh, we're done with you. You know what I mean? But
I mean, the secondary players they have are. I
Bruh.
mean, it literally just seems like they. What's that famous movie about the Philadelphia Eagles when they brought the dude in?
Invincible, is that it?
Invincible, yeah. It's
Yeah.
literally like the Buffalo Bills just said, "Fuck it, let's hold tryouts. Okay, you can run a 4-5. You're playing safety. Okay, you can semi catch a tennis ball. You're gonna play receiver.
Yep.
Okay, you can run through some cones. You're gonna play running back. All right, Josh Allen. Here is your invincible roster, aka longest yard roster. This guy just got done serving 15 to win a championship."
You got it, Bubba.
Oh Lord.
Steve said Buffalo going to be dead last in their division this year. I agree. I could see that. Tyler says Buffalo has Trash Bisky now, so I could see Josh leaving. That's right, baby. You got Trash Bisky.
I still think New England's going to be dead last in that division. They don't suck that bad.
Hey, listen. I mean, Buffalo does have the Nickelodeon VP, okay, the Nickelodeon MVP and Mitchell Trash Bisky. So I could see Josh getting traded. I could see it. Tyler then followed up and said, "We so bad Arkansas could beat us." I mean, you guys are
No.
rough right now. You guys are rough.
No,
Then Steve said, "No one in
no.
the NFL is that bad." Oh man. Oh,
I mean,
geez.
Buffalo's gonna finish with a top 5 pick next year, guaranteed.
Yeah,
So-
it's just a matter of how they're going to use it. You know what I mean?
It also matters what their schedule is going to be like this next year. Once it gets released, I think we'll be able to take a look and see exactly how bad it's going to be. You never know; they may have a weak schedule.
Yeah, true.
I mean, even the weakest schedule is still unless they get to play Denver and teams like that 4 times each, they're gonna finish bottom 5. I'm sorry, and I don't think you can play Denver 18 times in a year. So
You don't think they'll win at least 5-6 games next year?
no.
Hey, we'll be doing NFL predictions here once we come back from our summer break, so we can
That's
hammer
one of
that. We can hammer
One
that
of my
all
favorite
out.
shows. One of my favorite
What
shows.
the predictions?
Yep.
Yeah, predictions are
It's one of
fun,
my
man. I
favorites.
love doing some predictions. Speaking of predictions, we can now probably hop into the good, bad, trash. Before we do that, not doing it at the end of the show, let's shout out one of our sponsors, Rogue Energy. You can use referral link down below, promo code SPARKY3 to get 10% off your order. Check out the hydration line like Dragon Fruit Mango. It's absolutely incredible. Or the brand new line they just launched, Rogue Chill, to help you relax after a long day. And then, of course, just the standard energy flavors, whether if you want the powder and mix with your own water or just get the cans. I recommend the Black Cherry Lemonade. It's one of the best energy drink cans I have ever had in my life. I love that damn thing. Look at that. Look at us. Look at us. Didn't save it to the end of the show. Didn't forget about it. Shout out to that. See, with Gamesthetic, I got that one unlocked because we literally have to have a script every single week. You know what I mean? Because there's just so much. So it's like I can't go into a show blind like this one where it's just like, let's wing it. You know what I mean? I've got too much. So that one's always scripted where it's like, all right, sponsor time. Once the league, obviously once the season kicks back off, we're going back to scripts. I mean, we all know that. We need them for our games and everything, so it's all good. But we've kind of dropped the sponsor thing the last couple weeks, but it's all good. We got it today, boys. We got to shout out Agent Inc. later on in the show. So, all right, let's hop over to the good, bad, trash. New segment, big segment show here, boys. That's what we are here. We like introducing new segments and see what's going to stick. So again, for today's topic, we're going to go through all 32 teams, and we're going to give our opinion, whether it be a short one, just good, bad, trash, and move on, or if you have some thoughts behind it, let's dive into it, of how every team looks going into the draft. The draft is kind of like the last chance for these teams to really kind of reload and get ready for the season. Some teams already nailed it on free agency. Some teams, Ricky, did nothing in free agency. So it puts a different opinion on every team in the league. So let's jump into it. Let's start off with the NFC East, because we did have Kirito ask about our thoughts on. Let me, if I can scroll back up to his question a while ago about the Cowboys. He asked it pretty early on in the show. So the question he asked is, what do you guys think of Dallas Cowboys' lack of moves and not willing to re-sign Dak? Do you think the Cowboys are leading towards a rebuild, or is Jerry Jones being dumb, or both? And also, I just realized that he asked the same questions down in chat, and I missed it. My bad. Anyway, I didn't have to scroll up for that. So, yeah, let's start off with the NFC East. Let's start off with the Dallas Cowboys. We have a Dallas Cowboys fan on the show, so Ricky,
Yeah.
the floor is yours.
So
What's your thoughts?
So I will go ahead and mention. I mentioned this a few weeks back. Dallas Cowboys have several free agencies. Excuse me, several free agent players after this upcoming season. Dak Prescott included. I believe Micah Parsons is one of them. He may have one more year. I can't remember. They've got several offensive linemen. They've got several defensive players. They have several whose contracts come up at the end of the year. So you're talking about um, what does Jerry want to actually do? It's not necessarily about just wanting to re-sign Dak. He's wanting to see if he's going to be able to compete after this coming year, because chances are it's not going to happen. Chances are people are going to have to be let go. And if Dak Prescott does not perform, there's a possibility, as faithful as Jerry Jones has been, there's a possibility we're going to scrap the entire team and just rebuild next after this coming season. This coming season, in my opinion, is almost like the Last Dance was with Michael Jordan, even though we haven't won a damn thing in a long time. But it's almost like, okay, this is it. This is it. This is what we've got. This is our roster. This is what we're going to go with. This is it. And there's a good possibility you guys are going to see a whole scrap of players coming off after next year. And I wish I had that. I wish I had that player list in front of me, because it would be so much easier to defend. You guys go ahead. I'm gonna find that player list real quick, so that way I can tell y'all how bad it's gonna be.
Parsons as a fifth-year option after this year is what was just said in chat. As for my opinion on the Cowboys, I just personally think I think they're in a bad spot going into the draft. I don't think they're in a good. I definitely don't think they're in a trash, but I don't think they're like glowing with enthusiasm, because you're right. This does feel like if we don't nail it here, we're in trouble. You know what I mean? So, in my opinion, I throw Cowboys into the bad category going into the draft.
Yeah, I would agree. I wouldn't if I had if I well I would yeah I would say close to trash, to be honest with you, just because they're about to lose so many players. Um, I'm looking here. Of course, I don't think they've re-signed CD Lamb. CD Lamb is also going to be a free agent
And I just
after
saw a
this.
report he may have a holdout.
And that's going to be something else, because right now, if I look at CD's contract, he's only making $3.5 million, so um, it's not very big. Something else, of course, Cooper Rush hasn't really played a whole lot, but it's still a pretty big deal. They've got several defensive tackles, like I've said. I'm trying to look at some of the here. Eric Kendricks, our inside linebacker, Jordan Lewis. Excuse me. Marquise Bell, I think his contract's going to be up. He was an undrafted free agent. They have, let me see here. Oh, let's see here. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to 15, about 20 players right now whose contracts come up at the end of this next season. So that's why he's not re-signing anybody right now, guys.
Yeah.
It's just because of the timing of it. And if CeeDee Lamb holds out, guys, it's going to be bad. It's just going to be a
It's also going to be bad
year.
for his wallet. Don't forget, he'll get fined every
Micah,
time.
It would not surprise me. I'm telling you guys, it would not surprise me if Micah Parsons asks for a trade before too long, because I think he's ready to get out of Dallas at the way that business is going right now. Because like I said, there's not really a whole lot of talks about his extension. I'm going to say trash right now. It's trash because they're just in this bad situation right now. And unless Jerry makes some moves, it's going to stay trash.
Shane, what about you? Where do you got him slated?
I mean, they're just in a tough situation, not making any moves with free agency, having all these players that are on expiring contracts. I mean, Jerry Jones is going to pull something out of that old ass of his, because if not, Cowboys are going to be in a tough spot. So, I mean, I've got to put them in trash. I'm sorry.
Go Chicago! Go Chicago! That's my new team, Chicago.
Let's go, baby. Got another one in here.
I've already got a new college team, so.
Also, I totally forgot for our ticker down at the bottom, I included something that said Alex has no idea what he's doing, but he's trying his best. I forgot that was on there, because I looked at it, I'm like, did someone else type that? Because I know when I sent over the overlay to Jacob when I went on vacation, he typed something about Shane being stinky, and I didn't notice it for like 3 weeks.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was on the ticker for a while. I didn't notice it. Yeah, Jacob typed in Shane is stinky on the ticker. So go back to some past episodes and you can find
That
it.
is wild out of him.
Anyway, let's keep going around the NFC East. What about the Giants? How we feeling about them? I say trash. Trash.
There's anything worse than trash, that's where the Giants are at right now.
Okay.
They are like the residue on the bottom of the trash can that leaks out of the bag and it kind of gets stuck there.
No, not the residue.
Landfill, the smell of the landfill. That's where they're at right now.
No. All right, what about the Eagles? How we feeling about the Eagles?
I would say good.
Really? Think they're good?
Yeah, I think they're going to be completely fine.
I don't think so.
Would you say
Not after
bad?
that garbage. Not after that garbage of a freaking slip through they had last year. I'd say bad. I'm not going to say good though.
See, the one thing that's always going to be really interesting about this segment is that we have no in between categories, and that was obviously intentional. I'm making
that's why I put them in good.
Yeah,
because I mean, ideally, I would have them in between good and bad.
I agree.
But since we don't, I'm putting them in good because I don't think they're going to be bad, and I don't think what they've done so far is bad. So therefore, they're good.
Yeah, but they haven't really made any moves either, guys.
Yeah,
but they still have a lot better roster right now than what Dallas does.
They don't have a better roster than what Dallas does. No, they do not have a better roster than what Dallas does currently. No, they don't. No, they don't.
I would say the Eagles has a better roster. Hey, Ricky, I'm a point.
Who won
the
NFC East last year?
Who went to the Super Bowl?
I don't give a damn. Philadelphia Eagles
who went to the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl last year.
But they went to the Super Bowl the last 2 years, and it's pretty much the same roster, minus now Jason Kelsey.
Damn. I don't give a damn.
It's pretty much the same roster, minus Kelsey.
I can't believe this man who is given his team participation trophies. That's crazy.
You know what? Just for that, Ricky, the Eagles are in a good spot. They're in the good category.
Hang on.
Yeah, Barkley isn't making moves. Saquon Barkley's not making moves. That's a good point.
Saquon Barkley's washed up. Now,
who made it to the Super Bowl?
Now, hang on. I'll give you that much. I will give you that much. But you and I both damn good and well know the Philadelphia Eagles had just as bad of a choke job as what the Dallas Cowboys did last year. Don't care what happened the year before. I'm talking about last year. Last year, we saw Philly have one of the worst slip-ups in the history of the NFL. I know it.
I wouldn't say worst.
You can't argue with that.
I would. I would.
I didn't say the worst. I said one of the worst.
I wouldn't even say one of the worst.
It was pretty bad, guys.
If we want to consider slip-ups and use the criteria of they made the Super Bowl the previous year and they slipped up this year, I can go down a list for you next week and get you at least 10 other teams that had a lot worse of a slip up than the Eagles.
But what I'm saying is, though, they had a good start to the year.
I mean, they did.
And somewhere down the line, they had this little slip, and they never came back from it. It was like poison in their locker room or something like that. It was pretty bad.
I mean, dude.
I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you guys, they're not.
Look,
good.
This is how I see it. I mean, I agree with you on a scale, right? Everything's in context. Compared to what they had in the beginning of the last season that we just played, and the expectations that they had to where they got to in the postseason, is it a slip? Yes, I agree with that. But how can you fault them for having a bigger expectations in the beginning of the year than the Cowboys? Now, given every Cowboy since the birth of time, after every season they say next year's our year, right?
We did boys.
In the grand scheme of things, in reality, higher expectations were set for the Eagles than the Cowboys going into the last season.
And guess what happened? They both got their ass kicked in the first round. So I don't want to hear it that they've got a better roster than the Cowboys do.
They still have a better roster. I will still say that.
They've 100% got a better roster.
Y'all just wait. Y'all just wait.
Yeah, I'll wait for all these we dim boys, and then all of a sudden the Cowboys don't even make the playoffs. I'll wait. It's okay. Goes
Hey,
like
hey,
goes
I'm
like
on,
clockwork.
Hey, listen, I'm on that boat with you, man. It's like I said before. I've got new teams now. College is the Oklahoma Sooners, and I haven't decided on the NFL yet. Still haven't decided on the NFL yet. By the way, before we can move on, shout out to Marcus Wimberly. He committed to the Oklahoma Sooners. 4-star safety out of Arkansas going to Oklahoma. That's why I got to root for the Sooners now. And I hate the Sooners, but I got to root for them now.
Okay, whatever. All right, last team of the East, the Washington Commanders. How we feeling on them? I'll go ahead and start. They are in a great position going into the draft.
You
No,
didn't say
you
great
can't
was
say
one of the
great. You can't say
categories.
great. It's good, bad, or
Good.
trash.
Sorry,
Alex.
they're in a good position.
Good, bad, or trash.
Good. They're in a good position.
Holy, he's all you trying to break the rules out here. I agree. I mean, go ahead, Ricky.
No, I was just going to say I agree too.
Steve asked me to mute you, Ricky. So you
Hey.
got Steve heated about this Eagles Cowboys thing.
You tell Steve
He can hear you.
that I will never be muted.
Oh my God. All right.
You guys know. Hey, hang on. Let's hold on to something real quick. Have I ever once on this show or my other podcast, Talking Sports with Donor and Forrest,
Shut up.
have I ever once said the Cowboys are going to win a Super Bowl?
Yes.
Have I ever once? Bullshit. I have never
Bullshit.
once said
I'm
the Cowboys.
I'm sure we can.
I'm
scrub
sure
some
it's in there
tape.
somewhere.
I'm sure,
Grab it.
I'm sure
we
it's
can
in
put up some tape.
What I have said is
Tyler,
one
pull up
day
the tape. I know you're still watching. Pull up the tape.
Hang on. What I have said is you're going to rue the day when it does happen. I have never, ever predicted when that was going to happen. I did predict they would lose in the Super Bowl last year. I will give you that much. I have never, ever been one of those fans who has been solely on my team that I've always picked them to win, unlike others on this show.
We're going to
I
have to
would
pull
agree,
the tape.
but also, I will say, in your defense, though, Cowboys, if they're gonna make the run, it's got to be in the next year to 2 years, because if not,
Facts.
you're gonna go for another 10-year rebuild, and it's gonna be hell.
25-year rebuild. We've been on a 30-year rebuild.
All right, let's go over to the NFC South. Let's start with the Carolina Panthers. How we feeling about that one? Trash. So
Yeah,
bad.
they're trash.
Dumpster fire.
Trash. Their highlight signing, Deontay Johnson.
Facts. And that was a
That's
trade.
all you gotta say.
Yeah, I mean,
That's all you gotta say.
Dude,
Trash.
horrible. Moving on. All right, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'd say good. I like what the Bucks. I like the fact the Bucks signed Baker. Man, Baker deserved it. I like where the Bucks are. Give them good.
And I was gonna say bad, but then I realized they were able to keep Mike Evans, so I'm gonna say good.
Facts.
Yeah, they do need to get some more weapons to build around, though. We'll see how that works.
What about the Falcons with Kirk Cousins? I say good personally.
Yeah,
I say
I'm
good.
going with good. I'm going with good. And if there was a category that said great, I'd probably put that on there too. That's what they need, though. They need a leader like him.
Mhm.
They're still young. They're still young, real young. So that's going to really help them out.
Did you guys see the comment from Kirk on why he's not wearing number 8?
Yeah, I saw that.
Too much money.
Yeah,
No,
too much
he said-
money.
Well, no, I saw an interview saying that it would cost him a lot of money, but
Yes.
not to Kyle Pitts. It'd be to the NFL.
it was
because he'd have to buy every single jersey of Kyle Pitts. It was going to be like upwards of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And he's like, I'm good with 18.
A lot of money. Kyle Pitts is about to be a monster. Facts. Kirk Cousins is about to light it up down there in Atlanta, man. I'm here for it.
Kyle Pitts will be the next best tight end when Kelsey retires.
With a guy like Kirk leading the way, I agree with it, man. I love Kirk, so I'm here for it. All right, what about the Saints? How we feeling on the Saints? I say bad. I don't think they're trash. They're definitely not good. I just say bad.
Yeah, I would say bad too. I mean, they lost Armstead, right?
Yeah, they lost him last year. I think he signed with the Dolphins last year, but I think they have a crap offensive line. You know, Kamara's not who he was. Plus, he's got obviously the legal issues that's continued to pop up. Mike Thomas has not been what he was for years, and they have let him go. They have Chris Olave, who played pretty well, who had some injury issues. They need more receiving weapons. I think.
Didn't they also lose a defensive player, a key defensive player? I think might have been a defensive lineman as well.
It might have been Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan might have finally left the Saints. He's been there for like fucking forever.
I can't think if it's him or not.
I don't know.
I know they lost somebody.
I say bad. Honestly, bad floating on the trash. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
of the Saints.
I would agree.
And lastly, no, that's it. That's it for the NFC South. All right, cool. Let's hop over to the NFC West. What about the Arizona Cardinals? I say good personally. I like their spot right now. I really do.
I'm gonna say bad. I'm gonna say bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say bad. That's only because they've got that number 3 pick or number 4 pick.
Yep, 4.
Let's see what they do with the number 4 pick, because that will depend on if they go to trash or good, in my opinion.
Marvin
So
Harrison Jr.
Of course, Kyler Murray's been slipping for years, guys. I just don't see them. I don't see them being put in a position right now. I'm gonna. The only reason I'm gonna say bad is because there's a possibility they get Marvin Harrison Jr. If they didn't have a chance of getting Marvin Harrison Jr., it'd be complete garbage.
Now there were reports that came out earlier today that teams have been contacting Arizona for that number 4 spot.
Yep.
But they've all been turned down because Arizona is looking for 3 first-round picks.
That
for
tells
number
you
4
that they
spot.
want Marvin Harrison Jr., which you can't blame them. If I was Arizona, I'd stay put too, unless I got a generational haul like 3 first-round picks. No, I just think I put them in the good spot because I think with an addition like a Marvin Harrison Jr., Kyler Murray coming back fully healthy, you still got a good young tackle from last year with Paris Johnson Jr. I think they're putting some pieces together. But when I say good, it's definitely at the bottom half of good. It's like right there floating with bad. But I can't help but to feel like getting a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to help put you in a right spot. It almost feels like the same extent of how Arizona felt when they got Larry Fitt. You know what I mean? Where they get Larry Fitt and it just puts them in a different position for the future. It may not be like literally next year, but it could be the year after. But I like if they get Marvin Harrison, man, I like where they are. That's just kind of my stance. If they don't get Marvin Harrison, throw him down the trash can.
I can't say good, only because even if they do get Marvin Harrison, they're gonna have to get somebody else in that building. Because if not,
facts.
I mean, you're gonna get doubled. They lost Hollywood Brown, which, given he may not be this giant superstar that he was previously,
there,
But the thing is, though, like he still has enough skill and ability to take pressure off of Marvin. You still have to cover Hollywood Brown. He's still a deep threat. But now they no longer have that. So who are the other receivers that are actually going to take pressure off of Marvin Harrison? Because if not, he's just going to get doubled every fucking down.
Yeah, and they also traded Rondell Moore. All right, you convinced me. I'll put them in the bad, but they're right there on the cusp of good. You convinced me. I'll jump.
So that's why I had them in bad.
All right, what about the Rams? I say bad since Aaron Donald retired. I mean, they got a big hole, man. They already have holes they have to fill with offensive line and stuff.
I would say bad. Losing a player like that is fucking.
I don't think they're like on the lower end of bad. I think they're on the upper end of bad, close to good. But that automatically knocked them down to bad for me.
I would look for Matt Stafford to retire after this next year.
I agree. I think it's coming to a close.
That's why you're probably going to see them draft a quarterback between the 2nd and 5th round, probably. If I'm being 100.
Yep. All right, easy one, San Fran. We can all agree, good, right? That's
good.
Yeah, moving on. All right, what about the Seahawks?
I think they're in a good position.
Okay, good from Shane. All right.
I lean more towards good than bad.
I do
lean
too.
more towards good than bad.
I do too. So I want to say good, and I'll put them at like the bottom half of good. Is kind of where I'd put them personally. So I agree to that. Let's see. So we'll hit the NFC North, and then I can catch up on some chat, and we'll shout out Agent Inc. before we hop over to the AFC because I got a lot of chat comments to catch up on. All right. Ooh, thunder. Nice. Hopefully I don't lose power in midstream. That'd be my luck. Hopefully I don't lose power because my PS5 is going to yell at me. It's in rest mode again. Anyway. All right. So NFC North, Green Bay Packers. Good. I mean, I think Jordan Love, man, he had a really, he came out last year, especially the end half of the year. You know what I mean? Like he played really well. I'd put them in the good category.
I put them in the good as well.
Yeah, I really think the NFC North is going to be a super competitive division next year.
Yep. What about the Vikings?
Minus the Vikings.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What about the Vikings? Bad or trash? How we feeling?
Trash.
I'm gonna say bad. They're in that mid round. I think it's pick 18 or something like that to make a move to kind of change that to good. Let's see what this first round pick. Let's see what they do in this first round.
They're at 11.
They could 11. Like, they could potentially move up there, do some things, but for right now they are bad, unfortunately.
I say they're. Go ahead.
Now, what I was going to say is, if they end up letting Justin Jefferson go, it's going to be even worse than bad. That's why I said
Yep.
trash.
I say trash because I think they're ungodly desperate. I think that pick they made with Houston getting a second pick in the first proves it, because I've been saying from day one, I think that second pick that they got later in the first, I think that's the sign they're going quarterback, whether if it means getting a quarterback, like getting best player available at 11 and and way overdrafting a quarterback at 23, or using both picks as leverage to get even further up into the top 10. You know what I mean? So I say trash because they're desperate. It is a serious desperation level right now since losing Kirk Cousins. That's my mindset.
This is a question I have for you. I was thinking about this after our last show, Alex. There's a quarterback that me and you were very high on last year that's sitting behind a quarterback that really stepped up this year for the Detroit Lions. Could there be a scenario where that quarterback and Jared Goff continues to play well through the first 4 or 5 weeks of the upcoming season, and may try to trade this quarterback, aka Hendon Hooker, and possibly get him in Minnesota if they don't grab a quarterback in the first 2 rounds? Because I think that would be a great fit.
On the slight chance they don't get a quarterback, because I think they are. I think that's a lock at this point. I could see a lot of different QBs around the league being like potential trade bait. You know what I mean? I see a lot around the league that Minnesota could try to get. I even see Minnesota maybe even try to get freaking, Trash Bisky. I could even see them trying to get freaking Kenny Pickett from Philly. And they both just got back to Buffalo and in Kenny's case into Philly for the first time. I could see that. I could see Hendon being on. I could see Minnesota doing a lot of things. I think Minnesota's in a desperate place. So yeah, I could see that. I don't think it'd be strictly just him. I think there'd be a lot of quarterbacks in that conversation. They're in a desperate place, but they're drafting a quarterback, in my opinion. Even if it's like a hard over, it's going to be the same thing with your Broncos, man. Because you don't pick until the 3rd round again. You're drafting a quarterback at 12, and it's going to be an extreme overreach. But you're going to go ahead and lock in your guy, because if you don't now, when the fuck are you going to get him? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that, or only thing I could see happening is that we trade back from 12 to maybe later in the teens, trying to get something additional.
Yeah.
And then go ahead and draft a quarterback in the late teens. But other than that, there's not much else that we could do. We have to get a quarterback, regardless if it's an overreach or not.
Lions, we can all agree, good. Obviously,
good. Yep.
Yeah, great
for
spot.
Sure.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what about the Bears? I'm very biased on this.
Look, I'm not a fan of Caleb Williams. I don't think he's going to produce what Justin Fields produced last year. But if he does, they're in a good position. But if they don't, it's going to go south very fast. That's all I'll say. So for right now, on giving it optimism here, I'll say good. But
I say good because of how good the roster is for a team that has the 1st overall pick and the 9th pick. I've said it before and I'll say it again. As long as Caleb Williams is not Johnny Manziel, Ryan Leaf, or Jamarcus Russell, this team can compete for the playoffs, because this team is built. This team should have gone to the playoffs, but lost, 3 games that even percentage-wise should not have lost. This is a team ready to go to the playoffs, especially in a very weak NFC. So, like, my stance is going to remain the same. If Caleb Williams is just not a generational bust, this team is fine. This team is going to be fine. So I say the Bears are in a good spot. We still have more money to spend. We have two great receivers that this guy can throw to. We have a number 1 tight end, a building offensive line, a defense that can be top 5 defense next year. Like, Bears are in a good spot. Like, my mind will not be changed on that.
Yeah, and I think because the NFC is going to be so weak this next year,
Yep.
I think even if you have both Philly and Dallas in the playoffs next year, which right now it's looking like Dallas is not going to. There's a possibility Dallas won't even make the playoffs, but even if they do, there is a possibility the NFC North could have 3 teams represent in the playoffs next year.
Yep. All right. Let me catch up on some chat here, and then we'll shout out Agent Inc. So I'm just gonna start from the recent and work my way up. Steve said Caleb Williams gonna be a bust. Mark my words. You and Ricky on the same boat. Vikings, I got them picking Bo Nix, or they trade for Mac Jones, Trey Lance, maybe you try to get Dak Prescott. Vikings are desperate. You never know what they could try to do. But they're going to go for J.J. McCarthy, in my opinion. That's my personal opinion on it. But I have actually seen a little hype out of Michael Penix, which I know Shane was real big on Michael Penix going in the first. Shane, I've seen that hype start to ramp up this last week. Steve did throw. I did kind of smile at this when Steve typed this in. He said Rodgers is going to go to the Vikings to finish the story. And I just thought that was so damn funny. I love it, man. He's going to finish the story.
Hilarious.
Second coming of Brett Favre, baby. I love it. Bears bad right now, but if they draft a quarterback, they'd be in the good spot. Lions good. I think the Bears are already in the good spot, and
I think they're already good.
Because
I mean,
top
we
5
said this,
defense,
2-3
2 number
weeks
1
ago.
receivers. We got a running back who can get the job done with DeAndre Swift. Got a building offensive line. I think the Bears are good as long as, like, again, Caleb is not a generational bust. I think we're fine. Vikings bad, but they're in rebuild mode. Definitely feels like it. Packers good, Lions good, Bears good, Vikings trash. Agree. Packers good, Seahawks good. Rams are bad, but they're not really that bad because they just have a great start for the rebuild. I could see that. They got to figure out the quarterback long term. You know what I mean? That's what they got to figure out. 2025, Kyler Murray going to Cleveland. Cleveland going to overpay him just like they overpaid Watson.
So stupid. I swear.
All right. All right, let's give a shout out to our other sponsor, Agent Inc. Use our referral link down below and pick up a jersey. We'd appreciate that support. You can, whether it's the Sparky 3 branded jersey, ATFS with the trash can on it. Look how great that trash can looks. I drew it myself in 5 minutes. The AniMan Plus jersey or the Gamesthetic jersey. Also, you can pick up one of the 2 dad hats. For the record, John, we have hats. Just make that clear. We have hats that can be purchased in case anyone missed it. I just want to make that very clear. Only people that watch Gamesthetic or the recent videos that I put up about that will know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, for context, John did not know for like 2 years that we had hats in that store. That store's been up for like I think it's about to be 2 years that store's been up, and he just now learned we had hats.
Yeah, it's been up since like mid-season 2, season 3, something like that.
Yeah. I put it up as a clip from Gamesthetic like a week or 2 ago, where it's like as soon as I finished doing the ad read, John was just like, "We have hats?" And I was like, "Yeah, we got 2 hats." And Zach just kind of leans forward. He's like, "It's been like 2 years. How are you just now getting this?" And John's just like, "I don't listen to him when he talks." And I'm just like, "Wow. Oh my God. Brutal." Anyway, but yeah, shout out to Agent Inc. We'd appreciate their support if you check them out. All right, let's start running through the AFC now. We're in the North. Let's keep on rocking with the North. Keep working our way around the country. AFC North, baby. Let's start with the Brownies. How are we feeling about the Brownies? Made to the playoffs with backups galore. How are we feeling on them? I say they're in a good spot. I don't think they're in a bad. I think they're at the bottom of good. I mean, this team made to the playoffs with a bunch of backups. If the team stays healthy. You know what I mean? Like, Nick the Chubbernaut, Nick Chubb, if he manages to stay healthy all year long, I say they're in a good spot as long as Watson continues to play at least relatively okay, which he was playing relatively okay last year before he got hurt. I see no reason why the Browns are in a bad spot. I say good.
I agree.
I mean, didn't Myles Garrett win Defense Player of the Year, or was that TJ?
I think it was TJ, wasn't it?
Okay. I know Myles won something, I thought. I don't remember. But, I mean, Myles Garrett's Defensive Player of the Year, kind of candidate. You got a good defense. Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett and stuff. Like, I say good. What about you, Shane?
I'm sorry. I got busy looking at something.
Browns.
Yeah, bad. Sorry.
Bad?
Horrible.
What?
Shane is not paying attention.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they're in a good spot. I could say bad.
Keep in mind, they made to the playoffs with a bunch of backups. If everyone can stay healthy.
I mean, I'm gonna say bad, but I mean, they have to show me something. If Joe Flacco was that starter, I'd say good.
Okay,
he's not.
Big Dick Joe, baby. All right, what about the Bengals? This one's kind of an interesting one.
I'm gonna say good, but only if Joe Burrow stays healthy.
I would agree.
Same.
I'd say good. You got to still figure out.
I know they lost Joe Mixon.
Yeah, T.
That's
Higgins
tough.
is going to be on his way out the door. Tyler Boyd is gone. I mean, it's a little tough.
That could be bad. It's looking bad though.
Yeah,
that's the thing. It's looking bad.
Yeah, that one's a little sketchy. I'd say good, but it's definitely on the bottom half of good. All right. What about the Pittsburgh Steelers? Come on, Ricky. Don't be like this. Don't be like this.
Guys, I've said it for the last 2 years. I'm going to continue to say this. Russell Wilson needs to retire. Get away from the game of football. Football's not his priority. I don't care how much money you got for him. It was completely idiotic to get rid of Kenny Pickett this quick.
So
Completely
are you saying bad or
idiotic.
trash?
Trash.
Ooh. Oof.
Hang on. Let me upgrade to bad. I'll upgrade to bad
Okay. Fair enough.
because they are going to give Justin Fields. They're going to eventually give Justin Fields a chance.
I say
But
good.
I do believe he will be a good starter. I believe he will fit with Mike Tomlin very, very well. I'll upgrade it to bad only because of that.
I give them good because of Mike Tomlin. You know, and Steve agreed with me in chat. He said good. Tomlin can't be denied. That's my mindset. Tomlin can't be denied, so I say they're good. But again, they're on the bottom half of good.
Yeah, I'll say good. I'll say good only because of Mike Tomlin as well. If Russell Wilson can even produce a little bit what he even did last year, because I think he played good last year. Don't get me wrong. I think he played well last year.
I don't think he played bad last year.
I think the team around him just wasn't that whole team just gave up. But he played well. If he can do that or even close to that, I think with Mike Tomlin's coaching and the buy-in that Russell Wilson should do on that roster, I think they could be good. Potentially wild card, I think is their ceiling though, but we'll see.
I could agree to that. We can all agree on the Ravens. Good, or how we feeling on the Ravens?
I'll say good.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Adding Derrick Henry to that team and then maintaining most of their roster, you have to say good.
Okay, I agree. All right, let's move around the country. AFC East. All right. Buffalo Bills. Just
No, just trash.
bottom
Trash.
of the barrel.
Trash.
Bottom
Yeah.
of the barrel. Just
I'm sorry, trash.
bottom of the. They are the actual residue, Shane. Not
Yeah.
who you said earlier. It's the Bills.
They're not even in the can. They're on the bottom of the can.
Oh man,
They're
they're stuck to the bottom of the can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
they're the stuff that falls out of the bag when you lift it up and it rips, and it just lays there next to the trash can for 2 or 3 days until you notice it.
2 or 3 days. Jesus Christ, Shane. Yeah, but Bills are just, oh my God. I mean, you lose all 3 of your star secondary players. You get rid of Gabe Davis, you get rid of Stephon Diggs. I mean, Josh Allen's only weapon is Dalton Kincaid, tight end from Utah they drafted in the first round last year. You know what I mean? It's just well, what are we doing? Offensive line, they lost their starting center to someone, I don't remember who. It's just what are we doing? Buffalo is just, the Bills are the juice that falls out of the back of the trash truck.
There you go. That's a good description of them. Yeah, I would agree.
That's brutal, man. That's brutal. It's so true, though, man. I don't know what the Bills are doing. They're in rebuild mode, 100%. And they're not in they are not in the right position to be in rebuild mode. If they had a top 10 pick, all right, I'll give it to you. Go ahead and do a rebuild, whatever. But you're in the bottom of the first, man, aren't you? I mean, I don't remember the pick. Let me look. Let's see. Bills are the 28th pick. Godspeed, Buffalo. All right, what about the Jets? As long as Rodgers can stay healthy, I say good. That's my mindset. Still got a team. They got a team. They were competitive without Rodgers. They were not competitive on offense because Zach just stinks. As long as A-Rod can stay healthy and sling it, which he is defying all logic in terms of health, I say good.
I would say good too, and I agree. I mean, I think they were right there. If they just had a little bit better quarterback play out of the 3 or
their
12
defense
quarterbacks
was
they played last year,
unbelievable last year. I mean, that was a top 5 defense, man. I mean, come on.
I want to say good. Where is Aaron Rodgers' mindset? Is it football or is it elsewhere? And I understand that this was a whole, kind of goof up. Oh, let's see him being vice president. I know that was a whole goofy looking deal, whatever the case may be. But guys, come on. I mean, is it football or is it other things? I don't know where to put them. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't know where to put. I want to say good.
Just put them in good,
'Cause,
baby.
you know, the Jets are not one of those teams that I absolutely hate or anything like that. I actually like the Jets. Um, it's a trash organization though. Goodness gracious.
Historically, yeah. Come on, baby. Just put them in good. Put them in good.
I'll put them in good for now.
All right, respect. Patriots, trash. Not Buffalo trash, but trash.
So the Patriots are right here when it comes to trash. The only reason the Buffalo Bills are just a little bit above is because they have a quarterback, and that's the only reason. That's the only reason why.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, Dolphins. I mean, I say good. You know what I mean? They choke kind of down the stretch, but I'd still say good.
I'll stick with good. I'm not big on Tua like you guys are, though. I'm just not.
Okay. What about you, Shane?
I'm sorry, I'm being distracted by somebody that's in my room. I apologize.
You're good. Dolphins.
Good.
Yeah, that one's pretty straightforward.
I was hoping he'd say trash.
Just like not even baked into the conversation. Yeah, trash. It's like, what? What do you mean? Well, let's see. Let's catch up on some chat stuff. Steve said the Jets are winning it all. JETS. Jets, Jets, Jets.
And you're on the booger, sugar, white girl, crack, whatever the crap else they call it.
Kirita said Bills need to relocate to a new state. I think Bills win a Super Bowl. I disagree because you got to keep in mind they are the only team in New York, and the Bills Mafia are the best fan base in the NFL.
You could relocate New York to Canada where there's nothing up there, and they still would be in the same situation. There has nothing to do with where they're at. Has to do with their management.
Stadium,
has to do with their ownership. They need new ownership. They need a new stadium.
Yeah.
If they had a new ownership, got different management, things like that, I would agree with that. But no, they don't need. They don't need to go anywhere.
Yeah,
they just need new management. They need a better surrounding.
Yeah. Let's see. Trevor Lawrence versus Mac Jones QB battle at training camp. Who wins? It's gonna be T-Law, but I'm not like sold on T-Law as a superstar. I have not been sold on T-Law as a superstar for a couple years now, personally. I mean, this is gonna be a big prove it year for T-Law. So I mean, I hope he can. I hope he can prove it. But Mac Jones will be a nice backup.
I've been watching Trevor Lawrence since he was a junior in high school. He'll be just fine.
Man, I hope so. He hasn't shown being a superstar just yet.
He plays in Jacksonville.
What are you trying to say?
Jacksonville's a horrible organization. Not that great.
Gardner Minshew had better stats than T-Law. I want that to be known.
You do know. Okay, so who owns the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Shot Khan.
Yes, and guess what else they own? AEW.
No,
Trash.
I'm aware. Duval, go Jacks. All right, so where are we at? We're on the AFC East. So let's go AFC South. All right, so yeah, Jaguars. Ricky, say your opinion. I want to hear your opinion.
I want to say good, but I'm going to lean a little bit more toward the bad area just because the moves to Houston, Texas have made, and they have literally separated themselves completely from this division.
Yep.
It's not even close.
I
hate to say that.
I do agree.
I'm a huge T-Law fan.
Yeah.
And as bad as I dislike the Cons, as far as being owners go, they're good people. But as far as being owners go, they don't fork out a whole lot of money. They've missed out on so many opportunities, and that's why I'm gonna lean toward bad.
I do agree. I do lean bad more than good. We need some pieces. We weren't able to keep Ridley. That
was a big loss too.
We got Gabe Davis, which is great. He's a great second, but we still need. We got Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis could be a great combo. That's great, but we still need a real difference maker, which Calvin honestly wasn't. Let's be real, he wasn't. He had like 1 or 2 games where he was a real difference maker. Rather than that, he was just kind of there.
I think the big thing that hurt him was that he had to sit out an entire year.
I agree.
That really does hurt. And of course, that stupid gambling rule, which I get it, but that was way too harsh.
We had a great tight end, Evan Ingram. I think we re-signed him. Happy for that. We still need some offensive line help. We need secondary help pretty bad.
You're in a good position. The problem is that there's pieces that are still need to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
And there's really nothing that's been done so far. So we'll see. The draft's not really going to help them out very much. at all, in my opinion. You might get some good players in there and everything like that, but to make a difference to win the division, probably not. Could they make the playoffs? There's a possibility of that next year.
Yep.
But as far as overall goes right now, it's more bad than it's good. I promise you that.
I agree. I'm gonna say bad. Unfortunately, hate to say it, but it's crazy how quick a year can change. Because a year ago I
know.
would have said good, but it is what it is.
Big underdogs the year before.
I know.
They
I
come
know.
and show out, and then this year, of course, you could almost say this year was a pretty big slip up because they were the heavy favorites, in my opinion, to win that division, and Houston just came out of nowhere with a rookie quarterback,
Yep.
and it is kind of discouraging because you do have T-Law, and T-Law's been in the league a few years now, so it is kind of discouraging to see that. But sometimes when you throw a young buck out there and you just let him throw it around, sometimes good things are going to happen. And then you got T-Law, which at 1 year with Urban Meyer
Destroyed his career.
Oh my gosh, it really destroyed him. It really did in a lot of ways. And that's why I think I have a little more faith in T-Law than you do. Is for the simple fact is I have faith that Doug Peterson's going to find a way to finally break him in and get him over the hump.
Okay. All right. Shane, what about you and the Jags? Where would you put them at? I don't know if we've got Shane. He popped back in, but I don't know if we got him. We'll keep moving.
I'm sorry. What was that? One more time. I
Jags.
apologize, Gus.
Jags.
I think they're in a good spot. I think Trevor Lawrence has got to play a little bit better than he has been. He's been pretty inconsistent. But I think if they play good, they've got a good roster. So I think they're in a good spot.
All right. What about the Titans? Trash.
For sure, trash.
All right.
Okay, so here's the New England Patriots. Here's the Buffalo Bills. Here's the Tennessee Titans. They're the three bottom when it comes to trash.
All right. What about the Colts? I say good.
I'm gonna say good too. We'll see if what's his name? I'm trying to remember that
Anthony.
damn quarterback, Anthony Richardson. We're gonna see if Anthony stays healthy. He looked good. He looked good when at first. So we'll see if there is a such thing though as a sophomore slump. And that's the one thing that I worry about with the Texans. We'll get to them here in a minute, but we'll see if they can build up with him. They played well without him too.
They did. Almost made the playoffs.
Garner Minshew Mania, baby.
Let's go. Shane, what about you and the Colts? You put them in good, bad, trash. How you feeling?
I think they're in a good spot. I mean, they've got a pretty good roster. Anthony Richardson's coming off injury. If he can play half as well as he did, I think they're in a good spot.
Okay. Texans, good. I think we can all agree.
Mhm.
Just phenomenal. So good. Like, can't wait to see what the Texans are going to do this year. It's going to be really exciting. All right, that just leaves us the AFC West of the first rendition of Good, Bad, Trash. So obviously we can all just agree Chiefs are good. I mean, I don't think we can really disagree on that one. It's kind of hard to say otherwise when they still have Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and they just won a Super Bowl. So let's move on. The Chargers. How are you feeling about the Chargers with new head coach Jim Harbaugh back into the league? I say good. I think Jim automatically puts them in a different level, in my opinion. They got a quarterback. They got still Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. They need a receiver. They got to hit on that with that fifth pick. But beyond that, man, I say good. Good offensive line, good secondary. That's where I'm at on them.
I agree. I think they're also going to be in a good spot. Not sure. I'm not sure if they're going to make the playoffs next year or not. That's still going to be kind of iffy. But they're going to compete. They'll be a lot more competitive than what they have been. That's for sure.
Yep. Shane, what about you and the Chargers?
Yeah, I think they're in a good spot. I mean, they got Jim Harbaugh. He's gonna bring their kind of that hard-nosed running type of ball. I think they do need. I mean, knowing Jim, he's probably gonna build like he did in Michigan. He's gonna get a good defense first, and then worry about the offense later because his type of offense isn't that hard to run. It's just smash mouth football. So as long as he has a good offensive defensive line, he's all good. But I think they're in a good spot.
Yeah.
And I think if Colin Kaepernick ever wants to come back, you better do it now.
Steve said Chargers bad, one of the worst receiver rooms in the NFL. I do agree to that. But as long as they can nail that 5th pick, and get a good running back in the 2nd round, I think the Chargers are fine, man. I mean, I really do. And honestly, I'm going to say this up front. I think the Chargers are going to go wide receiver at 5. It'll probably be Malik Neighbors. I do think that. But I wouldn't be surprised if Chargers actually trade down like, maybe with the Bears, and the Bears try to trade up, because I know the Bears are, really like Marvin Harrison. I know they really like Malik Neighbors. And if they do that, it wouldn't shock me, because it wouldn't shock me if the Chargers go offensive tackle in the 1st round to continue to build that line, get a tackle on the other side of Rashawn Slater to build the mindset of, we're going to run the damn football down your throat. You know what I mean? I know we have a quarterback, but that's Jim Harbaugh's offense, is run the football down your throat. So it just wouldn't shock me if they go offensive line either.
Yeah, but I don't know if this draft really has a great depth of running backs in it. Like,
hey, he's already got his guy. He's going to draft Blake Corum.
That's fine too. You draft Blake Corum all you want to, but I just, that's tough. It's going to be a tough year for running backs in this draft.
Yeah, it will be. But all right, next up, Shane's Broncos. Shane, take it away.
Trash, absolute dog shit.
Here's the Patriots. I forgot about Denver. Sorry, Shane. Here's Denver. Here's Buffalo. And here's the Tennessee Titans.
I mean, yeah, it's garbage. But boys, I hate to dip out like this, but I do have to go. Something's come up. So.
Hey, no worries, dude. Get out of here. Have a good one.
All right. See ya. Love y'all. Peace.
Later, man. Have a good one. All right, and then finishing up with the Las Vegas Raiders. It's so easy, right? It's so easy. So easy, right?
Go ahead. Take it up. Take it up.
They are by far in the best position out of every team in the NFL.
You're out of because they have Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew, baby.
Minshew
Mania about to run wild in Vegas, baby. He's going to be living out of his truck, living out of his van or whatever he lives in, and he's going to be slinging TDs to Devontae Adams all season long. Good category. Okay.
The only reason I put them in the trash category, and this is the only reason why. Hang on. Hear me out. Okay, hear me out. Okay, I'll put them in the bad category. But anyway, I'm very close to trash because they spent way too much money. They don't have money. You don't have money. You don't have assets. When you don't have assets, you can't do nothing. That's why they had to go get Gardner Minshew, because they didn't have money to get a quarterback.
They don't need anyone else.
I'm just saying, like, in general. I'm just saying in general. Gardner Minshew had a great year last year, and he deserves a starting job somewhere. And I 100% agree with him with him being in Vegas. He should be a starter. I think Vegas is going to eventually draft a quarterback. If it's not this year, it'll be next year. But at the same time, you have no assets. The only thing you have that anybody wants on that roster right now is Devontae Adams.
Not true.
And they've already said they're not going to get rid of him. I'm talking about superstar level.
Yeah, it's still not true.
Who else?
Max Crosby. Come on now. Don't disrespect him. He's a beast.
Okay. I forgot about Max Crosby.
There you go. That's it, though.
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
No, I do say good, legitimately. No bullshit. I don't think they're high on good. I don't. But I do say good because one thing that sticks out to me is they finally learned their lesson and they got it right in the head coaching department. They should have hired Rick Bisaccia a few years ago, and they didn't. They tried to go for the home run, and it horribly backfired. Okay? They may not be a playoff contending team this year. We'll see. But I think the fact that they listened to the team, they listened to their gut, and they went with Antonio Pierce, a guy that lit a fire under this team. I think that helps put them in a good position. I do like Minshew, obviously massive fan. I think he's a good enough bridge quarterback for this team. We have Hunter Renfrow, we have Devontae Adams. Losing Josh kind of sucks. We can figure that out. Max Crosby, superstar on defense. I do think this team's in a good position, but I think it's definitely on the bottom half of good, if not literally the last team on the good one, right before bad. Like they're probably right there. But I think they're going in the right direction. They have the 13th pick. You can make a really good pick there. You can probably get the first pick of all the corners because there probably won't be a corner taken by 13, and they need a corner. So that's great. Get a superstar corner because they'll have the pick of the litter. They can go a lot of it. They can go offensive line. There should still be some great offensive linemen there. I think them being the 13th pick and stuff, they got a high pick in the second round, I think. Let me look. I have, let's see. Yeah, 12th pick in the second round. I mean, man, I think they're in a good position. But it's like, again, bottom of good. Like, literally, here's good, here's bad. Raiders are right there. Right there. But I'll be excited to see what they do, though. And I really am. I do love some Minshew mania. We have Aiden O'Connell in there who didn't play great, but maybe with a guy like Minshew just to help him learn the offense, because Minshew may be a career backup at this point or a bridge quarterback or whatever. He's still smart as shit. I mean, he's not in the NFL for no reason. He picks up offenses really well. Hence why Shane Steichen brought him over to Indy, which I feel like it's going to play. I think we're going to see it this year, and just how much huge evidence that's going to play for Anthony Richardson this year of having Gardner Minshew with him all year last year. So I say good, but again, it's right there. It's right there flirting with bad. Mostly because Antonio Pierce. I love that they actually hired him. Big fan of that.
I agree. I'll agree with that.
Big fan of that
big
move.
fan. I am a big fan of that. And I'll just be honest with you, their home run hit, John Gruden, had he not gotten in trouble, it would have paid off. Eventually, it would have paid off.
Right. All right. Well, so that gets us through the entire NFL of the first rendition of the Good, Bad, Trash segment. Ricky, what you think about the segment? You like it? Obviously, this one was longer.
I do.
They won't always be longer.
I do. I really do.
I think this one that sticks.
You could probably put like another level above good, like great or epic or something like that.
I agree.
As far as that goes,
I was trying to stay true to the good, bad, ugly. That's what I was trying to say.
Fine.
Yeah, I was trying to say
fine
true.
Too. That's fine too.
Plus, I feel like it makes it just a little bit more difficult because we want to put someone above. We want to put someone in meh, and we have to just I guess it's got to go in good. I guess it's got to go.
Well, I had 5 or 6 trash ones, and they were the easiest ones.
Yeah, that was easy.
I forgot about the New York Giants. It goes New York Giants, then the Patriots.
Okay.
No. I'm sorry. I like Daniel Jones, so it goes Patriots, New York Giants. No, I'm kidding. The Patriots were way better than the Giants were last year.
Oh man, it's gonna be interesting to see what some of these teams are gonna be doing in the draft.
Yeah, some of them, I'm telling you, some of them next season are gonna just be sitting back and be like, all right, no expectations. Let's see what we do.
Tyler popped back in the chat. Gonna listen to this full pod tomorrow. The house got wild on me, so I had to dip. Understandable, man. Understandable. I put you on a task sometime in the show. I don't remember when. So whenever you listen to it and you get to the task, I'm putting you to work.
It's to look for a video that I predicted the Cowboys would have Super Bowl, which never happened. So you're good luck finding that one.
It's got to be in a previous episode. It's got to be somewhere. All right.
Later in the future.
Yeah.
Later in the future.
Okay. All right.
Later in the future.
So yeah, next week, episode 100. Looking forward to it. Tyler will be here, so that's going to be really exciting to get him on the show. We decided to do 100 before the draft so we could really properly celebrate it. You know what I mean? So we could do something a little special for it and not just it be just the draft and make it simple and short and sweet. So episode 100 next week. For that, we will be doing what I've kind of called the ATFS roulette mock draft. That's the best name that I've come up with. So the plan that we're doing, all right, we should just be the 4 of us. Jacob's still on his hiatus. He said to come back eventually, but it should just be the 4 of us, me, Ricky, Shane, and Tyler. We will be going through the entire first round and picking pick by pick, but it's all going to be completely at random. We will not have any prep in advance of what teams we're picking. Hitting the draft, kicking things off with the Bears pick. I'm spinning a wheel. The wheel will have our name 8 times each, and whoever's name it lands on, they're making that pick. They got time on the clock, just like the actual draft. They can trade. They can pick. Whatever you want to do, you're the GM of that team. So it's going to be interesting. I'm gonna keep all of the draft stuff set up on my side, so it's going to be pretty fascinating how it's going to go. I'm looking forward to it. Just a fun way to do a little mock draft for the draft. And, of course, the next week, we will not be live on Tuesday. We'll be live on Thursday for the first round of the NFL draft, which Tyler will be here as well. Before the draft starts, we will go through our final mock drafts. Yeah, Ricky, you're going to be here for the draft?
I will be there for the draft.
Let's go, baby. Shane should be here too. We're gonna have our annual Taco Bell. It's gonna be great. Can't wait.
Yes!
Really craving some Taco Bell right now, so I can't wait. They brought back my chicken flatbreads, so it's gonna be awesome. But anyway, so we'll, before the draft starts, we'll go through our final mock drafts before the draft starts, how we think it's going to go, not how it should go, Ricky, how it's going to go.
Telling you right now.
Yeah, I know.
They need to hire me to do
Hey,
the draft.
you better
Everybody
hope and
be
pray
good.
that you get the Bears pick next week at 1, because you can do whatever you want.
I will do
You
whatever
can do
I want to
whatever
with
you
it.
want, baby.
Hey, this is not, in the words of the great Paul Heyman, this is not a prediction.
It's
This is
a
a spoiler.
spoiler.
If I get the Chicago Bears next week, my number 1 pick's Marvin Harrison Jr. And all you Caleb Williams fans can, do whatever.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, well, I'm going to wrap up the show.
I hope they boo the Bears whenever they draft Caleb Williams. I
They
hope
won't.
they boo
They won't.
him.
They won't. People are excited. People are excited, man.
They shouldn't be.
Bears fans are excited. Bears fans are in a good spot.
One name for you, Lincoln Riley. He's done nothing down there. Just letting y'all know that. Just letting y'all know that.
All right, Ricky, you got any last thoughts before you get out of here in normal Ricky fashion?
In normal Ricky fashion. Go Cowboys, even though we're definitely going to suck.
All right, have a good one, dude. See you next week. All right, I'm going to wrap up the show. It's been a fun one. Let me hit the music. Let's get ourselves out of here. Still got some chat that I missed out on. Let's see if I can try to catch up on this real quick while the music's playing. What if the Dallas Cowboys are for sale? And you heard breaking news: NASCAR legend Dale Earnhardt Jr. buys the Cowboys. Man, Ricky would lose his shit if that happened. Tyler's gonna be with his Coke gear decked out specifically for Rick. Shout out to that. That studio about to be kicking after that Taco Bell. You right, brother. You right, man. Rooting and tooting. You ain't lying on that one, dude. But anyway, we're going to really wrap the show because I am starving and I'm irresponsible and I still need to go file my taxes because it's April 9th and I haven't done it yet. So I got to go do that. But thank you so much if you made it to the end of the show. We appreciate the hell out of you. Make sure to come back next week for this special episode 100. Going to have Tyler in studio. It's going to be awesome. We're going to do this roulette mock draft thing that we're doing. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. Then we got the draft coming after that. Until next time, guys, have a good one. Bye.